let to release. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with the tackle. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Carr. He completes it to Bryant, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down carry by Elliott, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hey, here we go. Hey, we're good.
On second down, Elliott. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Throwing is Mahomes on third. He'll hit his running back, Amir Abdullah. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now here comes Kansas City. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Hey, 734.
From the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Left, 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 left. Here we go now.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Looking long for... and that's caught by Thomas for a Kansas City touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. A give to Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
694. 637.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Well, that 2nd down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric.Lew. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The second down run for Abdullah. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90. Z. So.
They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Moody. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Give him 30 yards there. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd and short.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. This is Abdullah. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Amir Abdullah with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Carr to throw on 2nd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
To throw his Carr. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. And his kick is good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Chiefs now. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, Why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent. And they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. On first down, Abdullah. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Looking long for Thomas. And that's caught by Thomas for a Kansas City touchdown. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Oh, and he pulled it right. It's no good. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Carr now on 1st down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Martavis Bryant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on them.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep here for Watkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He was looking for Watkins that time. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. A handoff to Abdullah. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Elliott. And some space here. Trotty. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Going deep here for Bryant. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Martavis Bryant, 38 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Left, 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 left. Ace, ace. Z, 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 Z.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. This will be taken at the 10. Gets past one man. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They go to Elliott again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
We got three, fellas.
Shotgun now for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's Abdullah. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Left, 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 left. Left, 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 left.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. Throw left side complete. It's Moody. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 big plays in succession, and Kansas City's on the move. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Butker able to put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Now, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. Room to run inside the 40. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On to tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. On first down, Mahomes. Flushed out right. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. A dump off for Abdullah. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And incomplete on the deep ball. Looking to go back to Thomas again. And now it's 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to kick.
Ezekiel Elliott Gonna take it the distance. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 77 yards. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. And now the Raiders will face an important two-point conversion attempt here. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Again, it's Abdullah. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Here's Drew Kaiser now. He's been terrific so far. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Past the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ezekiel Elliott, 47 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Dancing to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back to throw. Lang, he's going to look. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 39 that time. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's caught by Thomas for a Kansas City touchdown. Michael Thomas, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Elliott. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
24.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They'll run with Elliott. And an alley to run. Power running by Zeke. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw, and that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hicks. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
He gets away from 1. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Missed tackles may doom this team.
I just had a bad flashback. That's why I'm sitting up here with you right now. You've got to tackle him inbounds. You've got to wrap him up.
Monday down. 24. Hurry, get set, fellas. 4 down, 4 down.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. Back to throw. He completes it to Bryant. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw his car. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. That'll bring up 2nd down. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
Go. Get set.
One final try now for Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had.